Iah Pillsbury. I'm the Rabbinic Intern at Congregation Beth Adam and ourjewishcommunity.org. And here we are committed to a bold and ever-evolving Judaism. We take the texts of our tradition seriously, and we wrestle with them. Luckily for us, the rabbis of our tradition were no different. When they saw problems or inconsistencies in the Bible, which they definitely saw, they solved these problems by creating new stories called Midrashim, or biblical fan fiction. These biblical fanfics fill in the gaps in the narrative or add a different layer of meaning to the original story. So this High Holidays, here at ourjewishcommunity.org and Congregation Beth Adam, we are looking at the two different creation stories. So in the very first chapter of Genesis, we're told that God creates the world in 6 days. On the sixth day, God creates male and female simultaneously, awesome equality. Then on the seventh day, God rests. Shabbat, it's over. And then 30 seconds later, right after, we start over with a whole new world that's empty except for something that's going to turn into a garden. And then God creates Adam, just a man, out of the dust, and then later creates Eve out of his rib. So the rabbis thought this was a major problem because everything had to be consistent. You can't have these huge contradictions. So what do? You create a legend about Adam's first wife, and you name her Lilith. And this is a really, really, really old legend. It dates back all the way to ancient Mesopotamia. No one really knows where the roots are from. But over 1,000 years ago, Ben Sira, a scribe, wrote it down. And if you want to check out what he wrote, you can look at the Jewish Women's Archive at jwa.org. But tonight, we're going to hear a new spin on his retelling. Once upon a time, long, long ago, before the world was fully formed, God created male and female. In God's own image, God created them. Now, when God created Adam and Lilith, God took a handful of dust from the earth and formed it into two equal beings, both equally divine in likeness and in substance. But as soon as they were formed, they began to argue with one another. Adam believed his needs were more important than his wife's in every single respect. I belong above you in all things, closer to the noble heavens, he told his wife. But Lilith just rolled her eyes and pushed him off of her. From dust we were both created, and to dust we will both return. You are no more divine than I, nor any less. Let us be equal partners in our pleasure as well as in our pain. But Adam would have none of it. He just laughed and did his best to catch her off guard and overpower her. But Lilith could see where this tale was leading. So one day, she refused his advances for the last time and declared the secret name of God, Yud-He Vav-He, a name so incredibly powerful and magical, it was hidden from all creation. But somehow, after much searching, Lilith had discovered how to pronounce the word of God, and when she said it, she disappeared. Adam searched high and low for his wife, growing angrier and angrier with each passing day. But still, no Lilith. One day, God found Adam wandering lonely and dejected in the garden. "What troubles you, my son?" God asked. The woman that you gave me has fled. She's shown her evil nature and abandoned me, leaving me all alone." So God pitied the man and sent 3 angels to find the wayward Lilith. The angels searched all the corners of the world for her, through dusty valleys and baking deserts, over tall mountains and across vast oceans, until one day, in the midst of the swirling seas, they found her. She had whipped the waves into a tempest, and there Lilith stood, right in the middle, arms outstretched like wings. "What do you seek here?" Lilith asked, her voice echoing with all the voices of the winter wind. The angels looked at the powerful demoness, at the very first woman ever created, and they were afraid. They huddled together in the face of her fury, begging her to return to her husband and just submit to him. But the winds whipped faster and faster, and the seas frothed higher, and Lilith threw back her head. "How dare you seek me here? If Adam desires my return, where is his apology? Where's the teshuvah?" "But you're his wife," they replied. "It's you who's in the wrong." "No, we were made as one, equal. No person should be forced to be subservient to another. Not man, not woman, not wife, not any person of any sex or any gender. It is Adam and God who are wrong. They are the ones who have done me a great injury." "Come back," the angels cried. "We'll give you all the riches you could ever want." "I've already said no once. That should be enough for you." But it never is. And it never will be. "Take whatever you want from me. Kill 100 of my children every day if you have to. No matter what you do, I am never going back. I will never be subjugated." It's too late to apologize. When the angels returned to the garden and told God what had happened, God sighed and said, "Okay, let us make another, more fitting helpmate for the man. It's not good for Adam to be alone." So God, put Adam to sleep and formed Eve out of his rib. And way, far off on the other side of the known universe, tucked away on the very edge of the desert, there was a little cave where Lilith formed herself a home. In the image of a home, she created it, independent and all her own. A place of refuge for all who have the courage to act according to their own free conscience. A new Eden, all her own.